I got hold of this gentleman. Somehow there was a surprise meeting with this gentleman. Mr. Moinul Atiq has been part of the Pakistan national cricket team, and he was with Imran Khan, and he played some test cricket matches on behalf of Pakistan. He's one of the only cricketers in the Pakistan history who has done an MBA. So he has done an MBA, I think, in hospitality management, and then he became one of the coaches. He has been helping in Zamamul Haq, Misbahul Haq, and many cricketers of the Pakistan cricket team. And because it's a very tough and competitive game, and you have to go through many periods of depression and competition. So he helps them think positively. And so positive thinking is very important, and he has been working closely with all, you see, Wasim Akram and all those people. And he couldn't play that much for Pakistan, but he still made good score in few test matches. And so he is a professor now at DH Sufa University. And I remember 4 or 5 years ago when we had a chance meeting, and he came to know about effectuation. So he became a strong believer in effectuation and the effectual plus model. And he said, "This Shahid, this is what it is. This is what I am. Effectuation is my life story. Effectuation is my life story." So he teaches effectual entrepreneurship at DH Sufa, and he's helping a lot of people in coaching and mentoring. He uses this in helping people learn cricket, and we engage him. And this is in the previous summer school or winter school, he conducted a cricket match at IBA. So in the whole class, the boys were made into 2 teams, and we had a very small T5, I think, 5 overs. T5 match at IBA Cricket Stadium, and Moinul Atiq was the organizer. So that was the IBA Winter School Super Tournament. So we had that. We had a lot of commentary. We had a speaker, and we had a lot of audience. So we enjoyed a lot during the last summer school. So we can't do it right now, but Moinul Atiq is going to. And I tell you, whenever I listen to him, I get positive. It's so important to become positive, because every other day, every minute, every hour, every news coming in the news channels, television news, newspapers, and people dying and people getting jobless, all these news make us negative. So Moinul Atiq, Mr. Moinul Atiq has something very interesting, and I don't think my friend from Luxembourg, this session today which is going to happen, you won't find Becca in Europe and anywhere else, and even in Bangkok. This is something very, very unique. Pavina Jansida from Bangkok, welcome to you. This session today will be very, very unique, I think, my perspective. Maybe I'm wrong, but my perspective is this is something very unique. You are very lucky you are joining this gentleman, and we have Aina. Aina is from Namibia in Africa, Mr. Moinul Atiq, and she's very, very committed lady, always there, and I really respect these people. And Becker Michelle is saying it is about the law of attraction. Wow. And so I'm thankful to Pakistani students, Talha, Uzair, Amin, Rutba, Dain, and Sajwar, and Mariam Abbas is very committed. Wow, mashallah. Muhammad Tahir, Rutba, Mariam Sahaba ne bhi kamal kar diya na ji. To these are, I really appreciate these. Dawood. So we have like 25 people, and more will come. And there's one Thai lady, she's not, I can't see her. That she was, her name is
Pranama.
Isha is very committed. Hassan Rashid committed. So I think your commitment makes us work hard. And Amna Chandna, you're welcome as well. Our own team, Asghar Azmi, I hope Zarish will join us soon. So over to Moinul Atiq. Moin Sab.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Saab. You're having a great introduction, right? Okay. Are you listening to me, all of you?
So I think we will be
Yes, sir.
okay. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Hello,
Yes, sir.
everyone. Hello, everyone, please.
Yes. 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 We're
Okay,
listening,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
thank you. Put some gas in your voice, please. Thank you
Hello.
very much.
Put your gas in the voice. Okay.
In your voice.
Listening.
Put some
Yes,
gas in your
sir.
voice, all of you. Okay, let
Yes,
me ask a
sir.
question. Hello, Kasser, Abdullah, Aina, Becker, Tawab, Ari, Shifa, Isha. Yeah, how was the morning, by the way? Hello, everyone.
Hello,
Not it's
sir.
slow, but it's good.
Hello, sir.
How was the morning?
It was good.
That's good.
Is good or
Yes, good.
excellent?
Excellent.
Good. Excellent.
Shaba, Shaba. Always says the best word, right? When you
Yes.
say the best word, it will penetrate into your mind, and then you will see the action of your body, and you will get the positive result of every action. I can bet you, I can challenge you, right? Actually, effectiveness with ourselves and with others is entirely based upon our character. And the key ingredient of our character is one of the greatest habit, and that is called your attitude. An attitude that comes from your mind, and it is a thought. When you purchase positive raw material in terms of positive thought, you will produce positive attitude, and you will have an entirely different body language. And what is body language? Body language comprises 7 elements: tone, speech, voice, gesture, posture, and movement, right? When you move in a positive way, it will attract everything with you, right? This is very important. Now, today's topic, before going to take off, let me introduce a bit more about myself. My name is Moin Latik. I used to play cricket for my country. I spent almost 17 years in sports. I also played hockey, international hockey, beside cricket, this sports. You know, and in the very first match, the current Prime Minister Imran Khan, uh, he selected me. He selected me. He selected me, in the West Indies tour way back in 1986 and 87. And in Trinidad, he asked me to play very first one day. And Alhamdulillah, I got the chance. And that was my first match in Trinidad way back in 1988. And my partner was Amiz Aja. And we went out for batting. Unfortunately, we won the toss and elected to bat. And, the very first over, when I faced, Malcolm Marshall and very fast bowlers, I was a bit nervous, but I had a pep talk with myself. Moin, nothing is impossible. Everything is possible. What make the difference? Your thought make the difference. So I get myself set there. And time by time, I scored a few runs. And finally, we produced 100 in partnership. And that was the record partnership ever produced by any opening batsman on that time, till that time. And, when I got myself out, I got a standing ovation. And then Imran Khan asked me, Moin, you played very well. And what was the reason? Because people are afraid, frightened. They had, they had थोड़ा घबरा रहे हैं, परेशान हो रहे हैं. लेकिन तुमने पहला, you played very first one day. Even then, you had a lot of confidence. Why? He asked me. He said, look, Imran Bhai, when we had a meeting in the, after the match in a hotel. Imran Bhai, when I used to play, when I went out for batting, I never jumped for future, right? I was enjoying my processes. I was enjoying my cricket, right? Rather than taking, as a big task, I was enjoying myself. So what happened when you rely on processes, when you focus on processes, when you forget about the end result, and that will not increase, that will not develop the stress. So this is very important. Whatever you do, enjoy. When you enjoy yourself, when you enjoy doing anything right, you will get maximum from it. So today's topic, let me share the second slide. Today's topic, introduction, which I done, effectual logic, a bit I will discuss. Then we will develop a class culture. Then I'll show a video. Then I'll share a story of World Cup and what is then talent and versus attitude. Normally, the people you heard, you heard from different mouth of the people that talent is everything. But according to the psychologist, talent is nothing. Talent produces egoism. Everything is attitude. Everything is attitude. Attitude play a vital role in anybody's success, and it does help more than 80%. This will help you to bring success into your life. Then Aristotle, the quotation. Then I'll discuss the quotation as he says that what he says, that sow a thought, reap an action, sow an action, reap a habit, sow a habit, reap a character, and sow a character, reap a destiny. So everything is depend on destiny is depend on your character, and character में सबसे important चीज क्या है? The power of positive thinking, right? And then finally we walk the talk. जो हम बंदे बात किए, how could we walk the talk? That's very important. क्योंकि the effectual logic में action is very very important. You know, theory plus action is equal to success. Now, let's move to the first slide. You can see the picture right here. I mean, on your right extreme, you can see the Arnold Schwarzenegger. He becomes 7-time champion. The moment he step into the, 7-time champion in bodybuilding. The moment he step into the
Moin Sahib, your slides. Where are your slides?
Yeah. I'm on the first slide. I'm on the title slide at the moment, right? The pictures.
But we can't see anything. We can't see anything, sir. Are we seeing?
Yes, sir.
You can see
Yes,
the
sir, we are
PowerPoint.
seeing.
Yes, sir. See that slide.
Yes,
They
sir,
are watching. They are seeing, right? Okay. Have you seen this Arnold Schwarzenegger? Yeah. Where I was by the way, yes, sir. I was saying that, he becomes 7-time champion in body language, right? Bodybuilding. The moment he step into the film industry, he becomes chairman. Then he step into the, politician. He become in politics, he becomes the politician. Why? What he says, that I never bring negative thought in my mind. I always say, yes, I can do. And nothing is impossible. Everything is possible, right? Here you can see, the Jahangir Khan. 10-time British Open. इसके पास कुछ भी नहीं था, ना फैसिलिटी थी, ना कुछ था, इवन शूज भी नहीं थे. लेकिन क्या था, इसने एक्शन किया, bird in hand principle, कि जो तुम्हारे पास है, what you have in your hand, start with that. इसने start किया, जब start किया तो फिर stakeholders बहुत सारे आए, और finally he become 10-time British Open champion. लेकिन सबसे important चीज क्या था, कि he always think positive. फिर उसके बाद then you can see Imran Khan, he become, top class all-rounder. At the moment he step into the entrepreneurship, he become social entrepreneurship. इसने hospital बना लिया, फिर politician में आया, तो फिर prime minister बन गया. Why?
Sir, please in English only. With a lot of people all know this.
So this is very important, So Imran Khan, become champion in all three fields just because of his positive thought. Now, in the next slide, yeah, it's a class structure. Let me develop a class structure. I will ask 3 questions, right? Number 1 is, audience, are you listening to me? Let me ask, what is the best time for you, and who is the best specialty, and what is the best work? Anybody from the audience, yes? The best time. What is the best time for you?
So when you're at your high, when you're at a peak of something, when you're doing something and you are just acing it.
Okay. Anybody else?
The best time is when you are actually struggling through a very, very difficult journey, and you know that at the end of it, you will receive a very, very fruitful end.
Okay.
So best time is when you achieve anything.
Okay, best time when you achieve anything. Okay, right. Okay, now, and what is the best work for you at the moment?
Best work.
Yeah. What are you doing at the moment?
Study.
You are taking a lecture,
Your
right?
class.
You are taking a lecture. This is your current work, right? Okay, who is the best specialty? Anybody, quick.
Would you give us a time frame or a certain area? Like who's the best? We need to
Yeah,
choose.
just tell me. Just concentrate on slide, please. Concentrate on words, words, live in present moment, live in present moment. I asked 2 questions. The last question, who is the best specialty?
The personality who's best is the one who in the work that I'm passionate about. So the best work is that something that I'm passionate about, and the best personality is also in that work zone which I'm passionate about.
Okay, okay. Now, let me tell you one thing. This is very important. Are you watching slide? You can
Yes.
see in the slide.
Yeah, we can see it, but
Yes,
can
sir.
you make it full screen, sir?
Live in present moment. Live in present moment. The current time which is available, which is in your hand. What is the time? It's 10:20. This is the best time, right? At the moment, right? And what is your work? And you are taking a lecture. This is your work, right? And who is the best specialty? Whether you like me, whether you don't like me. The best specialty. You are facing whom? You are facing me. I am the best specialty, right? And same concept applies to me. The audience which I facing, these are the best audience for me. And the current time for me is 10:20, and my lecture, my work is giving a lecture. This is when we stay in current moment, we will get maximum from it. So that's why we need alignment between body muscles and brain muscles. We have to stay, when have you seen the picture? O'Sullivan, she's the Olympian champion, right? What happened? She was having a race, and she was very close to the rope, and all of a sudden he was thinking. She went back. Mentally, she went back when it was very near to the rope, winning rope, and she said that I've already got 5 medals, and when I achieve this one, when I achieve this one, then I have 6 medals. What she says in her book, that when I mentally went back and I was there and I did not finish my race, so I lost my concentration, I lost the race. So this is very important, audience. The current moment is the best time. The current work is the best work. The current specialty is the best. And the same concept applies to me. You are the best specialty, right, for me. And anyway, when we think in that manner, we get maximum from each other. And this is the best way to live your day. All the 24 hours, right? When you are walking, enjoy your walking. When you are eating, enjoy your eating. Forget about everything, right? When you are taking a lecture, enjoy your taking a lecture. Normally what happened, normally what happened when I'm driving a car, when we are in the bed and thinking about the university, when I'm in the university, and then I'm thinking that when I will go back to my home, right? So that is very important. We need alignment between body muscles and brain muscles. If you don't practice your brain muscles, it becomes weaker. Similarly, if you don't practice our body muscles, it becomes weaker, right? So stretch your brain muscles, and alignment is very important with your physical body, and that is very important, right? Look on the right side, Miadad. He always concentrated. He focused on the task. Always forget about the petty issues. You are taking a lecture. That the best thing is what? The best thing is to do is what? Taking a lecture. Stay with that. If you move around, if you drift your concentration somewhere else, you miss many things, right? And you need practice for that. You can't learn in 1 lecture or 2 lecture, and this is very important. It's a very minor thing. It looks to you it's a minor thing, but it will give you maximum, and this is the best way. This is the best strategy to get the maximum from the current moment, right? So this is our class culture. Enjoy your lecture and stay with current moment. Forget about everything. When you think that something is fishy or something is difficult, you need to understand. Just write it down. In the end, you can ask me, right? So live in present moment. That is very important. Now, in the next slide, entrepreneurship, art of creating value out of nothing, right? We have nothing. If you revisit the first slide, look at Jahangir Khan. Jahangir Khan become 10-time British Open champion. He had nothing in his hand, right? Only, small balls, no shoes, no money in his hand, no court available. Even then he was practicing, right? And then he become the champion, British Open champion, 10-time world-class player. Why? Because he created the value out of nothing, right? Similarly, Imran Khan. Similarly, have you seen the social entrepreneur Idi Saab? Similarly, you know, Arna Shivaniga. He's from the Scandinavian country, right? Refugee. He
Yes.
went to America as refugee, right? And then he became, you know, a champion in all three different fields. Right? So this is very important. Creating value out of nothing. Watch in your hand. The Berlin principle. Start with that and start working with that. You will get slowly and gradually and maximum from it, right? So next slide is what. This is, you know, a video. Let me share this video. It's inspiring ourselves. Let us inspire ourselves with this motivation message. Please.
Sir, can you go full screen, please?
Yeah.
I think it will work from.
Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. Stay with your task, right? You are the creator of your own destiny. No one else. Don't blame others, right? If you want to make your dreams come true, the first thing you have to do is what? Just wake up. Always act like you are wearing an invisible crown. The of can't, can. Failure is simply what are the stepping stones to success. When you become positive with your failure, a man who faced many rejection from newspaper editor, they said he had no talent, became the biggest creator. Walt Disney. A man failed 10,000 times before he made the electric bulb. Edison, a man who failed in the business at the age of 21. His sweetheart died at the age of 26. Had a nervous breakdown at the age of 27, became the president of the United States. Abraham Lincoln. Learn from the life stories of these people. Turn your negatives into positive. Time is the money. Time is everything. Be positive with your time. Create a plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once. Whether you're ready or not, put this plan into action. Start your day with the positive. This is your day. You have to think in that manner. You must take the responsibilities. When your desires are strong enough, you will appear to possess superhuman power to achieve. So patience, persistence, perspiration make an unbeatable combination for success. Go for it. Think and grow rich. Did you get it? All of you?
Yes.
Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
What
sir.
have you learned
Yes,
from this
sir.
video? Quick chat. Anyone? What have you learned from this video? Hello?
Never give up.
Yeah,
Sir,
please.
we learned. Sir, we
Quick.
learned. Sir, we learned that we don't have to discard from our failure and learn from our failures.
Learn from the reflection. This is one of the part of learning process, right? Reflection. Revisit where I went wrong, right? Just revisit and be happy, right? You can't get a smooth carpet, right? You can't in this life. 1,000-mile journey begin with the single step, second step, third step. So you have to live in current moment, right? Forget about the end result. Few things we have to consider. We have to stay in the current moment. When you fail, enjoy your failure, right? And just revisit. Sometimes you can see rear mirror or back mirror while driving a car. When you continue watching rear mirror or back mirror, you will have an accident. That is okay. Yes, you can go back and revisit your failure, revisit your weaknesses, but not all the time, right? Forget about the circumstances. ultimately circumstances will be in favor of you when you think positive, right? You cannot control the circumstances. What is under your control? Your body, your mind, your thought. That is under your control. Normally what happened, we are working on those things which are not under my control and not under your control. And this is the problem. Now, you can see the next slide. The story of World Cup. I don't know how many of you like sports or cricket, right? This is the story of World Cup. You know, in the 1992 World Cup, Pakistan team were doubt in the pool matches. Very much doubt. They never played, excellent matches. 50%, 25%. Even, the players, different players of Pakistan team, they were planning to return. The one man, the Imran Khan, he said that, "Lagta hai hum final jeetenge." What he said in his Urdu, might we will win the World Cup. So few players, very much surprising, watching at him, that what he said, that is he crazy? We almost lost everything. Even then he is thinking that we will win. Then what happened? His thought become true, right? And ultimately Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped him with his thought. And Allah says, whatever if you think negative, I'll give you negative, right? If you think positive, you will have positive. So it's all mind game. Even, golf player, a very famous golf player, I just forgot his name. What he says, sports is played with the body and won in the mind. So everything is played with the body and won in the mind. It's all mind game. Believe me, it's a life-changing prayer. You have to develop positive attitude all the time. Be happy with your mother. Be happy with your thing. Be happy with your, own clothes. Be happy with your car. I'm driving FX, a small car, but I'm not happy. I'm watching on my ride. I'm thinking about Prado. No. Prado you will have Prado, but you should be happy with your current things, what you have in your mind. And then you will get more and more and more, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, right? So now let me play this video. Please, this is my instruction. This is my request to you. Please, you have to listen his word and body language. As I said earlier, the body language comprises 7 elements. This is Imran Khan, and the Pakistani captain. Here is the Graham Gooch, the England captain, and this was the final. And before the final, it was the toss is going on, and Imran gave the interview to the Ian Chappell, the Australian greatest player. Right? Just listen, please.
Will sir, can you please make it full screen?
Yeah. Sorry, what do you say?
Please make it full screen.
Okay. Thank you.
You're going to call, apparently. Set to go? Okay, here we go. Why are we back? Is that because of a bit of a worry about Ryan? Partly. I mean, you can't take a chance. And the second reason is, excellent batting conditions. You must be really pleased with the way the side has pulled together in the last few games. Very much so. We really have been through the fire. We looked like we knocked out. And sadly, to have come back, it's given me the greatest pleasure and satisfaction. Yeah. So you got your tiger on again. You wanted to play like Corner Tigers? Yes, that's the motto recently, and they've done a great job. They've played like Tigers, especially the younger boys. They haven't been overawed by any situation. And if they're like Tigers, I don't mind if they win or lose today. Your last World Cup, you've been a great cricketer and played an ornament to the game. Good luck. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You're going to call, apparently.
Yeah. What he said? What are audience?
Anyone, please?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Can you please respond? Yeah.
Dr. Shahid Sahab, could you tell me?
Yes, sir.
So can I tell
please.
you? So basically what Imran Khan was trying to say was that everyone needs to have a positive mindset and they need to come as the attitude should be correct. it doesn't matter what the result is, but if the attitude is correct, he'll be happy. He'll be satisfied from what the team did. So he was not considering win or lose as a matter of fact, but what he knew was if the attitude is right, they will get a positive result out of it.
Yeah,
And
Shabash,
that's what
well done.
happened.
Very well done. Very well done. You are on the right track, right? What's your name? What's your good name?
So my name is Muhammad Dain Khan.
Muhammad Dain Khan, yeah. What he said that just look his body language, right? Even he did not focus on the toss, right? You can see the body language of Garam Goj, hell of a different, right? Big
Yes, sir.
stress body you are watching, and the greatest, what he conveyed the message to his team member who was sitting in the dressing room. Look, win and lose does not matter. We will enjoy current moment, and we will win the game. He forgot about the future, right? And
Sir, attitude is reflected from the shirt. Matlab, if you see that corner tiger shirt, that he purposely wore it. He purposely wore it. It wasn't a coincidence. He knew why he was wearing.
Yeah.
The attitude reflected from that even shirt even. Like what sort of mindset the captain is coming in from.
Yeah. He motivated his team members. Look, they played like a tiger, and the youngsters, especially the youngsters, they played very well. And we were down in the pool matches. All of a sudden, we reached to the final, and it's a great pleasure. He also said, does not matter any circumstances, right? Circumstances will not hurt us. In other words, right? But what is the main purpose of his talk in his interview? That win and lose does not matter. We will enjoy. When you enjoy anything, you will get maximum result from that. When you doing anything while having a stress, right? So performance will hurt. This is confirmed. So as I said earlier in my first slide, second slide, live in present moment, right? What I said, stay in current moment, right? We need alignment between body muscles and brain muscles. You are taking a lecture, stay with that. And you should develop a positive attitude. And he is the best teacher. You have to think in that manner. Whether you like me, whether I am not, whether I am right. But you have to develop. Definitely, you have to be with me. You have to bear me at least for 1 hour. So why not develop a positive attitude rather than negative attitude, right? That is important. So this is so important. And the Wasim Akram, and have you heard the name of Wasim Akram and then Zaman? They are very good friend of mine. They say to me, they say to me that, and we were planning to return, and we were packing, and simply we were discussing that we must have a shopping ride from Singapore and this and that. But this man always he said in the dressing room, like, if we had a positive thought, we will win. And ultimately Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped them out from the problem, right? And finally he achieved their result. They won the World Cup 1992. So attitude is everything. Attitude changes everything. Facing the challenge, you can change everything. But changing the face, you can change nothing, right? You have to face it. You have to accept it. That is very important. No, sir, I can't do this. I can't do this. No, you can do it. It's all about attitude, right? Talent, as I said earlier, talent is nothing. Talent produces egoism. Only 20% talent will help you to reach at your altitude. But 80 to 85%, the psychologists and different research has been done. And they said that, the attitude is everything. And attitude comes from your thought. And thought is very, very important. Thinking, right? That's why the name of the title is what? The power of positive thinking. It's a great power. Mind is the great power, right? Okay. Real example, right? Wasim Akram. Yes, the golf. He said, I always focus, I never victimize. I never think that I will be victimized with anyone else, surrounding. I focus ball to ball, ball to ball, ball to ball. And one of the, the name of his George something, and he's a golf player. He said, I focus one at a time. What I'm doing, and I stay with that, right? Ball to ball, I play. I never think about the end result. So this is very important. And these are the real example. Imran Khan, and as I said earlier, she mentally went back, although she was very near to the, winning rope. But what she said, when I went back mentally and physically, I was there, I lost my concentration. That's why I lost my race. And what she said in a book, like always You need alignment between body muscles and brain. Whatever you are doing, even you are walking, you're eating, even you are sleeping. When you're sleeping, enjoy your sleeping. Normally what happens, you cannot perform in the daytime until unless you will not perform in the nighttime. What is the performance in the nighttime? You must have a best sleep, maximum sleep. And how could you sleep? When you enjoy your sleeping, when you stay in your current moment, right? So that is very important. Otherwise, when you jump into the future, it will develop the stress. There are two kinds of stress: eustress and distress. When you fail to manage eustress, that will hurt your performance. That develop the negative stress. When you develop negative stress, temporary you will forget everything. Temporary you will forget everything, and it's a human makeup of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Right? It's a common practice when you think in that manner, right? Okay. Now, there are two players, Tendulkar versus Vinod Kambli. At their school, when they were at their school, they had the same talent. What happened, but you can see the Tendulkar at this moment, he finished his career even then at the top. When he was at the top.
And my audience, sir, these are Indian players.
These are Indian.
वहीं सब थोड़ा सा ख्याल रखा करें ना कि ये दूसरे मुल्कों के लोग भी बैठे हैं इस ऑडियंस में.
Okay, they are the Indian players, right? They are not Pakistani, but the Tendulkar on the right side, the best player, the highest scorer in batting, right? On the left side, Vinod Kambli, when they were at school, they had the same talent. Then what happened at the age of 14? The right person, Tendulkar, he played 72 matches straight away, without any gap, at the age of 14. So what happened? What he learned? That he learned from the stress. Not in every match he scored centuries, but what happened when he keep practicing? If you revisit, when we revisit our first slide in the video, there were three words, right? Patience, persistence, and perspiration. You have to work hard with patience. That's very important. So Tendulkar did it in that manner, and that's why he became the top player. On the left side, Vinod Kambli, he did not practice because he relied completely on his talent. So talent produces egoism, and how could you polish a talent? And that is attitude. So you need to practice all the time. You need to work hard. Harder you work, luckier you get, right? So in the next slide, attitude is altitude. How such a small thing can make a big difference. After Imran Khan having a beard, Mr. Mushtaq Ahmed, he's a Pakistani player. Currently he's serving a Pakistan team as a bowling coach, right? He's in England at the moment, and he's hardly passed 5 class Urdu medium 5 class from Sahiwal. But what he was doing before he was selected as a coach, he was commenting on tally. But he did not have any kind of fear in his mind, because he was my roommate. He was playing with me. He always think positive. Even the negative circumstances, he always developed the positive attitude with that. He said to me that, Moin bhai, I can get maximum from it. It's not a problem. Even the wicket is not good, even then he always think positive, right? I get maximum out from this. Although the batting wicket, many times he faced batting wickets, even then he got many wickets in batting wicket. Why? Because he always think positive with that. When you think positive, ultimately the circumstances will in favor of you, right? So on the right side, in Zamamul Haq, he's from Multan. He's my colleague, but he had, believe me, he had big talent, but his attitude so positive. I remember, he continuously failed 10 times. He got 0 in the matches. Even then, in the 11th match, what he said to me, he was my roommate. Inshallah, I'll perform in the next match. He did not carry fear in his heart. Even in the semi-final of the World Cup, he received Man of the Match award. Why? The commentator said he almost very much. He was a failure batsman in the pool matches, but the way he is playing in the semi-final, he did not get any fear in his heart. The commentator said he did not focus on the future result. He enjoying at the moment, and he said in his interview, currently, as Imran Khan said in his first interview before the match, that we will enjoy the game, and he motivated his players. So that's why every players were become positive. Look, look, win or lose does not matter. Our script says just enjoy the game, and that's why they have won the match. And this is the, you can say, a very small thing can make the big difference. And what is that? That is attitude. Please, please develop positive attitude every time. That's very important. Now, next slide. What the Aristotle says, there he says that saw a thought, reap an action, saw an action, reap a habit, saw a habit, reap a character, and saw a character, reap a destiny. मुकद्दर जो बनते हैं ना, वो अच्छे सोच से बनते हैं, और वो बनते हैं किससे हैं? When you think positive, right? Don't blame game. Don't blame to anyone that I got lost. You know, I failed just because of the circumstances. No, please. And we call them mourners and groaners, right? So ultimately, all the circumstances will give you fruits, will give you good results when you think positive about the bad circumstances. So this is very important. As you can see the quotation, that thought is everything. When you produce the action, positive action, then when you sow an action positively, you produce, you know, good habit, positive habit. When you sow a positive habit, you produce a positive character. When you sow a positive character, you produce a positive destiny. On the other side, if you sow a negative thought, you will have a negative action. The same concept applies in both ways. So that's important. In the next slide, now, always think positive. I don't think so. The foreigners will understand. And this is Arabic. Inshallah, I'll try my level best to just to give you a meaningful lecture, right? Yes, you have to listen. The Guman, you know, the thought. This is all those who are from Pakistan. I'll ask one of the person, please, to explain this, please.
और फिर वाकई वो बीमार हो जाता है। एक शख्स फक्र और मोहताजी से डरता है, फिर वो वाकई फकीर और तंगदस्त हो जाता है। ये सब कैसे होता है? इसकी वजह ये है कि एक हदीस कुदसी में अल्लाह ताला का फरमान है, अना इंदा वन्ने अब्दी बी, मैं अपने बंदे के जन यानी गुमान पर पूरा उतरता हूँ। गौर कीजिए, अल्लाह ताला ने ये नहीं फरमाया कि मैं अपने बंदे के हुस्न जन पे पूरा उतरता हूँ, बल्कि खाली जन फरमाया, गुमान। इन दोनों में बड़ा फर्क है। जब आदमी गुमान करता है कि उसकी जिंदगी खुशहाल होगी, रिस्क में कुशादगी होगी, माल और औलाद में बरकत होगी, तो अल्लाह ताला पर हुस्न ज़न रखता है और अल्लाह ताला उसकी नीयत के मुताबिक उसे अता करता है। मगर जब आदमी हर वक्त खौफ में रहता है, उसे फक्र, मुफलिसी या बीमारी का खौफ लगा रहता है, वो दरअसल अल्लाह ताला से बदज़न है। अल्लाह ताला भी उसे उसकी नीयत के मुताबिक अता करता है। इरशाद रब्बानी है, वयुअज़्ज़िबुल मुनाफ़िक़ीन वल मुनाफ़िक़ात वल मुशरिकीन वल मुशरिकात अज़्ज़ान्नीन बिल्लाहि वन्नस्सौ अलैहिम दाइरतुस्सौ। और उन मुनाफिक मर्दों और औरतों और मुशरिक मर्दों और औरतों को सलाह देगा जो अल्लाह ताला के मुतालिक बुरे गुमान रखते हैं, बुराई के फेरे में वो खुद आ गए। हमें नहीं बोलना चाहिए कि भलाई का इख्तियार अल्लाह ताला के हाथ में है और वो हर चीज पर कादिर है। सर,
Sure. This is very important, right? Okay. Yeah, you can see he's the greatest player, you know. Yeah, before going ahead, I mean, you know, let me ask from the audience, what have you understood? What have you understood? Yeah, please, anyone from the audience, please. The previous slide, the previous video. Yeah.
Sir,
please.
may I?
Yeah, please.
Sir, it says, according to Hadith Qudsi is the, let me tell the audience that Hadith Qudsi is the quotation that is spoken by Allah Ta'ala and narrated by Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. The Hadith Qudsi states that whatever a person expects from his God, Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala, he just give it to him accordingly. The thing is that whatever you expect from your God, either good or bad, according to Quran Majid, وَيُعَذِّبَ الْمُنَافِقِينَ وَالْمُنَافِقَاتِ وَالْمُشْرِكِينَ وَالْمُشْرِكَاتِ الظَّانِّينَ بِاللَّهِ ظَنَّ السَّوْءِ عَلَيْهِمْ دَائِرَةُ السَّوْءِ. This is the one. This is the hadith. This is the, I guess, ayah. This is the ayah that states that only the people who are not believing in God, they'll only be punished due to the fact that they aren't believing in the God, they aren't expecting good from their God. So we need to expect good from our God in this world and the hereafter, you know.
Yeah, very well done. What's your good name?
Uzair, Muhammad Uzair.
Uzair, excellent,
Thanks,
excellent.
brother.
Allah bless you. Allah bless you all, please. Allah bless you
Thank
all.
you.
MashaAllah. Okay, let me share, you know, the basketball player. He's a Christian. What he said, I'm not playing for the fans or the money, but to honor God. I know my motivation. I know where I'm headed. Every night I try to go out there to honor him and play great. What he was doing, you know, before the match. Right? Normally what he is doing. Before the match, he went to the church. Before the match, he used to go to the church, right? And talk to God that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, God, you have given me this much talent. You have given me capabilities. I will try my level best to satisfy you, not the audience, not the people, because you gave me everything. And what he says that after the match, he always good. That's why he is performing very well. And he performed very well in the past matches, right? The only thing, when you keep Allah in your mind and forget about the people, right? Because you know, one of the quotations said, don't discuss. Hello, yeah. So don't discuss people. Don't discuss, you know, discuss ideas all the time. Here is what. Here is what. Here is what, you know, that's very important. You always keep Allah in your mind, or God, as he is doing, you know, practically. This basketball player, he used to play for California, right? So well done, Uzair. Very good explanation you gave. Excellent. I highly appreciate your conversation with the audience, right? Okay, the next
Thanks
slide.
a lot. Thank you. So nice of you.
So now, in the finally, one of the best thing we can offer. I mean, you know, really it's a life-changing program, but we can't learn in one day, in 2 days. We need practice for that. You know, we need to develop muscles, positive muscles, right? And how could we develop positive muscles when we take all the time positive? The first thing, the first strategy, surround your guard your company, right? Always hire those people, those who are positive. Those who are not, those who are negative, please try to avoid or try to change them, you know. As I said, you know, that is very important. So one of the best thing you can offer your family or an organization, your community is your positive attitude. And you can do it now, even you can start now. So this is very important, and this is your assignment. Now start thinking positive. You will see the difference in your life, in your body language, everything. Even the chehre pe ronak, you know, you will, even you can see your face in the mirror, right? When you think positive, you will have you will get a charming face, right? 100%. It's a guaranteed, right? Now the next slide is what? Let's walk the talk. Start from today till end of the program, not on the program, end of the life, you could say. Positive thinking is a big plus. So identify only positive from your surrounding instead of negative, right? Agar khana hai, for example, one of my students, she had a biryani, right? And when I was very near to her, and I simply asked, what are you eating? She said to me, sir, biryani. When kaisi hai biryani? How is the biryani? She said, no sir, you know, this and that and this and so many weakness, so many, you know, problems she took out from the biryani, right? And then I said to her, look, if you this is too much big, I mean, this is so much, you know, bad biryani, just leave it. So no sir. She ate everything, right? So she ate everything. Even then she was taking out negative. No, don't do it. If it is not good, just leave it. If you are eating that, you have to think positive with that. That's very important. So audience, this was my lecture. This was my presentation, and this is very important. I mean, only theory does not help you everything, but practically you have to start from today, and that is very important. If the sun is shining and too much hot, and be positive with that. If you have one roti, if you have one chapati, if you have dal, so be happy with that, right? That's very important. What you have in your hand, according to the Berlin principle, according to the effectual in logic, what you have in your hand, be positive with that. Those who are positive with that, they will put all the strength into action. That's why they became the biggest creator and biggest entrepreneur and biggest player. That's why, because jo unke haath mein tha, uske, because जो तुम्हारे हाथ में, that is under your control. You can't control the circumstances, right? That's beyond your control. So you cannot control the circumstances. Instead of wasting the time, please try to work on those things which are under your control. So in the conclusion is what the first thing which we have to learn is that we have to live in current moment. We have to live in current moment. Enjoy your current time. Whatever you are doing, enjoy your current time. Give maximum with that, right? I mean, doesn't matter if it's small work, it's a large work, or it's an important work, it's an unimportant work, but you have to concentrate in the same manner. You give your attitude in the same manner, you will get. And this is a habit. Normally what happens, the important work we do with very focusedly and having a huge, heavy concentration with that. We applied, but unimportant work we did not focus on that, and we did not concentration in a manner as we have to do. So that's very important. I must advise you, audience. You are great and very positive attitude. I can see you, and I have judged the way you participated. I highly appreciate it. It's all about my presentation. Thank you very much, inshallah, and see you next time. Jazakumullah khaira. Any question?
Can we have a question answer session for 5 minutes?
Yeah, 5 minutes, please.
And in the meanwhile, people can change over, switch over. This is a 3-4 minutes break as well. In the meanwhile, we can take few questions.
Okay. Yeah. Any question? Yeah, please.
Moin Sahib, how did you fall into love with cricket, sir?
It was my passion, sir. Sports is my father, used to play table tennis, and he was the champion of Bombay way back. When he was in India, and it came from family, you could say.
Okay, so mashallah, it's really very common.
Yeah, please. Any audience, please.
Sir,
put your understanding into action, please.
Sir, I wanted to ask that yes, that one should always have a positive mindset in order to be able to get up and do things. But we also know that it's not always easy to have a positive mindset. So how did you balance between the two?
Sorry? I can't hear. Yeah, say it again.
I'm saying that it's important to have a positive mindset, but also on the realistic side, we know that it's difficult to always keep a positive mindset. So how did you balance between, how did you find the balance of always staying on the positive side?
Balance, there is no need to balance your, anything. You need to think all the time positive. For example, if somebody hurt you, right? If somebody hurt you with his or her communication, right? You need to think positive that might I was wrong somewhere. You know what happened? Let me share one story. In England, Piccadilly station, and then few boys, few children at the age between the age of 5 to 10, they were shouting too much, and beside them a person who was sitting beside them, and all of a sudden he stood up, and then he said to his father, "Can't you stop your children from shouting?" His father said to that gentleman that an hour ago their mother died. So all of a sudden he changed his perspective. Oh, how it was happen, when it was happen. I'm really sorry. Let them enjoy. Let them, because that's very important. So whatever you feel, whatever you receive from anything, you need to think. You need to take out positive from that. And it's very hard. It's not easy to talk, right? But how could we talk, right? It needs practice. When you need practice, forget about the result at the moment. Don't please jump into the future, right? But you need to practice first. Then you will see the result after certain time. So the first thing you have to do now, this is my suggestion. You start thinking positive. After a certain time, you will see the result. You will have an answer. You can give you answer with yourself, right? Okay. Thank you. Next, please.
Sir, but in certain situations, it is impossible to think. Certain people do not have a choice to think positive. It may seem like a choice for other people, but in certain situations, some people just can't think positively. So
Okay.
how does one go about that in that scenario?
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that, if you get successful, if you become failure. So Allah says, I know better than you. And if you got success, if you got the job, might be in the future, you will be in more problem if you don't have that job, right? So that is very important. You have to rely on Allah. You have to, as Hadith Qudsi said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala love every human being, and He knows each and everything. You have to focus. When you rely completely on Allah, you will get, easy. You will get easy yourself, right? That's very important. So we need to rely on Allah every time. You know what happened to me? I did not get the visa of one of the Europe country, right? So what happened? In the next flight, which I was used to. I mean, in the next flight, the next day, I was traveling with that, but I failed to get the visa. What happened? That flight was hijacked. So then I realized Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I did not get a visa just because of this. This is very important. You have to think in that manner. You have to read the Quran. You have to read the Hadith. Inshallah, you will get yourself easy very much when you think in that manner. Do you with me or not?
Sir? Sir?
Yeah.
Can you please share any interesting memory from your cricket journey in which you stuck in a difficult situation and you come up with positive thinking?
Yes, of course.
Last question.
Last question, please. In the very first match, when Imran Khan was captain, just 15 minutes before the match, he said to me that, Moin, you are playing. And I had a heavy breakfast, and I had more than 5 rounds, because I know that I'm not playing this match, right? But 15 minutes before, the Mudassir Nazar, one of the opener, he got hurt himself. So Imran Khan shouted at me, Moin, you are playing. So that time was very difficult for me, right? So when I was thinking, if I refuse, no, I did not get the cap, Pakistan cap. So I said to him, okay, I'm ready. I was mentally prepared myself. I was talking to myself, just get ready, forget about the 5 round, but just concentrate on, the first match. So when I went out for batting, in the very first match, although I did not had a practice for the last 18 days, so I did not, I never excused. I was ready to play, and I accepted that offer, which was given by Imran Khan. And what was the result? The result was totally in favor of me, because we scored 100 in partnership. Why? That was my attitude. I never blame. Why did you say to me just 15 minutes, but this is, injustice, I never say to, I accepted that, all situation. And as I said earlier in my presentation, that, ultimately the circumstances will be in favor of you when you think positive. So I was thinking positive, that I got the chance, and I think in that manner, and that's why I showed good performance, and I got success. And, whenever you get when you get any kind of this situation, so you need to take out positive. But as I said, it is very difficult. You can't learn in 1 lecture, 2 lecture. You need practice for that. If you keep practicing 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, then you will understand this, more and more and more. So you got it?
Thank you very much, Mr. Moinul Atiq. Thanks a lot for your wonderful talk and your conversation, and making us think positive. So I always keep on listening to Mr. Mine so that it makes me a positive thinker for a few months, and then I again go back and listen to him after a few weeks or a few
Okay,
months.
audience, did you enjoy my lecture?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Put some gas in your voice, please. Shout.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That's the way. Well done, Aina. Yes, shabash. Well done. Thank you very much.
Okay, so here you go. We are moving on to the second and the last part of today morning session. And in the evening, we'll be having Dr. Stephen coming in. In addition, there are interesting other things that are happening. These are optional things that are happening as well. We'll be having Dr. Pyle from New Delhi. This is optional. This is extremely optional. Dr. Pyle from New Delhi will be talking about human resource management. And then we'll be having Dr. Khurram coming in again for another course. So if some people are really crazy in learning, they still have a lot of options. So over to Dr. Hans. Dr. Hans, once again, our old friend, and he's our partner and friend and collaborator at Quilt Principle. And we're working together to promote the entrepreneurial mindset in Pakistan, Southeast Asia. And so Hans will be talking about his journey. So over to our dear friend Hans. Willkommen Sie bitte.
Salam alaikum, sawadee guten Tag. I'm still really excited because yesterday I just came back here from a virtual tour of Berlin, right? Just yesterday night I was there, and now I'm in Bangkok, or in my home. Yeah, so yeah, and now what's coming up? It's racing, climbing, flying. So the question is, what is this about? What does this mean? What is in there for you? Well, let us look into what I have with me. You can see in the back in my office a lot of books, but I also carry always a toolbox, right? The toolbox. This was the toolbox when I started, when I was 24 years old. The toolbox I needed to become entrepreneur and to do it is this one. And after many years, the toolbox became a bit bigger, right? So let's see what is in there today. Let's have a look.
Wow.
There are a lot of tools in there. A lot of tools for entrepreneurs. A level. Something to measure. I think we will come back to this. What's this? A cooling pack in case it's getting overheated. What's in the... Oh, what is this? What is this? What is this? Cheese. What does... cheese. Swiss cheese. If you remind me, I will explain you why I always carry a pack of Swiss cheese in my toolbox. But what has Swiss cheese to do with racing, climbing, flying? Swiss cheese has a lot to do with flying. But first, we will step into climbing and before into racing. And to have a little intro, let me share with you a video. Let me share with you a video. I need to check how to do this with, the cheese was good.
You might have to run it from YouTube directly, sir.
Yeah, I have it on YouTube. The question
Maybe
is,
it works. You can try it.
just a second. Basic. Where is my? There are the PowerPoints, but where is how to share the YouTube video? Can you help me, please? That's always entrepreneurship. You need to know someone who knows. So how to share a YouTube
First
video?
run the video from YouTube and then stop it and share a screen.
Okay, let's do it. Thank you very much. You are, by the way, stunning. Just a second. So share screen. Okay. Now it should.
बिजली तो नहीं जानी आज बिजली बिजली तो नहीं जानी आज
If you cannot hear, everybody dies, and not everybody lives. Every company dies. It's only a question when. But not every company lives. So let's do a little exercise. Let's do a little exercise, which I call the jump exercise, to execute a dream. And before we do this, let me ask you, what are your dreams? Can you speak up when it comes to sports? What is your dream, what you would like to do in sports? This lecture is titled Racing. This lecture is titled Extreme Sports. I don't mean extreme sports, but just share with us what kind of sport would you like to dream of? Can you tell me?
Sir, I wanted to become an athlete.
An athlete?
Yes.
What kind of athlete?
Sir, every kind of, like, I love how they do things, the flexibility they have and everything.
Great. So an athlete, the flexibility you need. What else? More. Just speak up, quick. Let me know, what kind of sport would you love to do?
Sir, can I speak?
Please.
I wanted to become a football player. I think the main thing about becoming an athlete is the adrenaline rush, the excitement you get on the field and when people are watching you, and the satisfaction you get.
So you want to be on the field, you want to be seen by others, you want to be in a team, you want to play football. Wow, what else? What kind of sports do you like?
Sir, although I am not at all interested in sports right now, but years ago when I was in my primary school, I used to love cricket, and as we talked about in our previous session, that Sachin Tendulkar was my favorite player, and I liked the way he celebrated his century. The moment that he scored his 100th run, that moment I enjoyed a lot, the way he celebrated his century. That was amazing.
Yeah, it's a moment, right? What you're saying, it's a moment. It's a moment which captures you in doing it. So who else? What do you dream of?
Sir, and it's not exactly a sport, but in terms of physical activity, I used to be very fat, so I learned through the internet that if I learn how to jump rope, and if I jump rope regularly, I may lose a lot of weight because it burns a lot of fat. So it took me 3 weeks to learn my first ever skip. I couldn't make the first skip. After that, I kept doing it and eventually made to 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Now I do it for 30 minutes a day. And just sometimes I think about, breaking the world record of going for 33 hours straight.
To jump or to walk?
To jump rope, skip rope.
Wow. Zabardast. So, wow. So that leads me to a little change. And let me, when I hear you and I just hear the word jump, let's do the jump exercise right now. Let me share this with you. It's so good to be here in the middle of revival. And what happens is when you already had a lecture for 2 hours, I assume, then you're sitting there and your brain is going down to your back. So we need to get up, right? So let us do the exercise. I need to share this now. No, that's not. Close, share the screen. Where is my jump exercise? I opened it. Here it is. So here is my little jump exercise for you. So when you think of a jump, I was thinking about a field and track sport. And what is this? What is this?
High jump.
High jump. This is a high jump. This is a world record in men's high jump in 1912. What is this? It's a world record in high men's jump in 1993, 2 meters 45. And this is the timeline. This is the timeline in men's high jump world record progression. It started in 1912 with 2 meters, and in 1993, 2 meters 45. It's still the men's high jump world record right now. 45 centimeters make the difference through new ideas, innovative jumps, and that's the jump. And the key is the bar, the entrepreneurial bar. And I want you to remember from today the bar. Let me see, I think I have a bar, of course, in my toolbox because I always have a bar with me. Now, the entrepreneurial bar, I need to know to have this in my toolbox. It's a very, very important tool for entrepreneurs, the bar. Okay, so I kindly ask you to be upstanding. Can you please be upstanding and have your video that we can see you? Can you be upstanding? All of you guys be upstanding. It's also good because the brain comes back to your head when you're upstanding, right? Can you please be upstanding? All of you are upstanding right now. I go a little bit away from my, can you still see me? Let me see. Yes, okay. So all of you are standing, I hope. All of you, right? Are you? Are all of you standing?
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yes, sir.
And now please, I ask you to jump. Can you please jump?
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 3, and jump. Okay. How high was your jump? Give me your numbers, quick. How high was your jump?
1 feet.
How high was your jump?
So 1 feet, I guess. Not very high.
Perhaps
1
like
feet.
20 centimeters or something.
20 centimeters. 20 centimeters. Can you guys do it again? Can you Jump higher. Can you jump again? Okay, let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. Jump. Okay. How high was that?
Approximate 2 feet, I think.
So it was possible to jump higher. I was asking you to jump, and you did. Some remain seated, right? Why should I join in? That's weird. Another weird guy here on the screen. Others try to do it, but not really with the effort. Okay, and the second time you were able to jump higher. So what you did was you raised the bar. You raised the bar. I have a question, an entrepreneurial question for you. Maybe, can someone ask me the price for 1,000 bricks? What is the price for 1,000 bricks? Can you ask me this?
John Hans, what is the price for 1,000 bricks?
Well, that's 500 euro. What's your answer?
Um, 700 euros?
No, what's your answer? When I'm giving, you want to know the price, and I'm telling you it's 500 euro. What's your response?
I will try to bargain and get the price a little less.
Oh, you will try to bargain. You will try that I will lower my price, that I will lower the bar, right? This is what you try to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the other way around, please. You ask me, I ask you, Aina, what is the price for 1,000 bricks?
500 euros.
In fact, no, 600 or 600 euros.
Oh, you raise the bar, you raise the price.
Yes.
You raise it because you heard 500, so you try to get more.
Absolutely.
If I say as entrepreneur, if you're asking me for the price, I say 500, you say, wow, that's expensive. Or the best strategy, by the way, is you just raise your eyebrows. And then you will immediately get a next price. So entrepreneurs tend to not to raise the bar when they are in a negotiation, for example. So what am I doing? Can you ask me again, Aina, what is the price for 1,000 bricks?
What is the price for 1,000 bricks at John Hans?
The price for 1,000 bricks is 500 euro, and it comes packed on a pallet, and we deliver this to your construction site. Do you have a crane to unload the construction site? So I raise the bar of the communication. I don't give you a price. The solution is I combine the price into a conversation to get you into another conversation. So what is important is not just if there is a problem coming up that you lower the bar, right? And that's a key. So what if an employee, next example, an employee is saying, I cannot do this. I cannot do this. What do you do? What do you do? I cannot do this. I say jump 2 meters, and then you say, no, I cannot do this. This is a world record from 1919 or 19. So what do you do as an entrepreneur with your employee? I cannot jump 2 meters.
You train them to jump 2 meters?
So you try to train them. Look at me. Do you really think when I'm the employee and I'm standing here in my age, I'm 2 years older than you, or maybe 3. Do you think you can train me to jump 2 meters? So you try to get something from someone which is not possible, instead of finding out the strength. What is the bar this employee can jump over? So you try to work with the strength, and you try to find out what is possible with this person, instead of trying to train the person to do something what the person, the employee, just cannot do. For example, what I can't do is racing. I cannot do racing. Motorcycle racing. I cannot do this. So what is this about? So let me share. I need to open the presentation, right? Again, just a second. I want to drive your attention to something what I cannot do, even if I want to. Just a second. The PowerPoint is on. And where is the PowerPoint? Where is the PowerPoint? Bear with me. It's 1:30, and we want to come in from the bar to jump. You did a great job. You jumped, and now I want you to race. But it's not there. Just a second. I'm not using this usually, so I have to start this presentation, you said. Bear with me. Just share. Advanced share and multiple. I don't want to share the screen. Here we are. So, as you may have seen on the announcement, we have a guest. We have a guest, and he is already in. This is Bank from Bangkok, and before I hand over to Bank, I would like to drive your attention to this picture. So there is something important what you should see. This is the number 39. This is the important part in this picture. The number 39. This is some pictures from racing, and this is Bank, and thank you very much. I thought I will just have some pictures from racing for you, and was asking Bank, can you send me some pictures of your racing? And then I said, why should I talk about racing? I invite him, and he was so kind to do it. So please give a warm welcome to Bank. Bank, you're online, and over to you. Bank is entrepreneur and racer in
welcome
Thailand.
to Bank. I'm Dr. Shahid Bank, and thank you very much for spending time. I did my Masters of Engineering in Bangkok, 93, 92, 93, Sawadika, and there are a lot of people from Pakistan and all over the world listening to you. So have a great speech. Wish you the best. Over to you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, Mr. I don't want to butcher your name, but
Shahid.
Shahid. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Shahid. Thank you, Mr. Hans, for inviting me to this session. I see there's a lot of people here, so I'm excited. I've had some experience with sharing sessions with Stanford University before, and I'm excited to be a part of it again. So without further ado, for me, racing, right? Racing. What is it? Let me share my screen. Do you guys see the screen?
Yes, we can
Okay,
see
cool.
that.
Okay, cool. So, you know, racing, entrepreneurship, well, how does it sync? Why is it the same? Well, I'm not saying it's the same, but I'm saying that, you know, there's a lot of things in entrepreneurship that is very, very similar to racing. So, passion. Before I started racing, I didn't even think about racing before I started doing it. I stumbled upon it, and I think this is how a lot of businesses get started. For some reason, you come across something that make your hair stand, right? It's just like, wow, this is something that's really, really interesting to me. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just something that makes that ignites you, that gives you passion. That is something that is worth doing for me, right? So, you know, my twin brother, he got a motorcycle, and I thought, you know, okay, I should learn how to do it. I should learn how to ride it. I didn't know how to ride a motorcycle. So I tried to find a course. I found a course, and it happened to be on a racetrack. And you know, I went to take the course. I took the course, and then the day after, I went to get my own motorcycle to start learning how to race. Because the instant I knew it was something that I wanted to do, right? And it's the same thing with entrepreneurship. It's just something that drives you, that ignites you, that makes your hair stand up, because you're gonna need that. Entrepreneurship is hard. It's gonna, like the video said before, you're gonna hit a lot of road bumps. You're gonna have a lot of sleepless nights. You're gonna have a lot of just nights that make you want to quit. But it's the passion that drives you forward. So you need that passion, or else you're gonna quit along the way. Find something that gives you that passion. Once you have that passion, for me, is to be a champion. I want to be on that podium. It's just to be on that podium is my dream, right? That is the passion. That is what I want to achieve. So you need that goal. Passion is not enough. You need a clear goal. What do you want? I want to be on that #1 spot. A very clear goal, that #1 spot. However, I can achieve that. How to achieve that? So if you want something, you can't just go out and achieve it. It doesn't work that way. The world doesn't work that way. You have to prepare. You have to know your craft. You have to prepare your body. You have to prepare your motorcycle. You have to know the racetrack. You have to practice. Lots and lots of preparation. That's what you need. You need to train. You need to try to improve, to know this business that you want to be a part of, this racecraft that I want to be a part of. And then once you're prepared enough, preparation gives you opportunity. If you are not prepared, you wouldn't. First of all, if the opportunity comes, you can't take it. It's just not possible. You're not prepared to take that opportunity. And the other part is, if you're not prepared, you will not see that opportunity. Let's say, you know, I want to be I want to open a bar. I sit next to one happening day. I sit next to a bar owner. If you are prepared with your knowledge, with your craft, then you will be able to talk to this person to get advice, to maybe find a way to maybe do something. But if you're not prepared, you have no knowledge. If all you want, I just want to open a bar. Someday I'll open a bar. That's all you do. That's all you think about. But you're not prepared. You don't do something about it. You don't find out more information about it. You don't look at bars. Then you're not prepared to talk to that person. You're just not prepared. Opportunity comes and it goes, right? This picture, to be a champion, to be first, you have to be in front of everybody. There was an opportunity for me to pass this person, a very little space, very narrow time. And it was up to me to make the decision of taking that opportunity. Because when you do business, there will be so many other people competing with you. Just like in the racetrack, everyone wants to be first. Everybody has the same passion as you. Are you more prepared than them? Are you more bold than them? Are you willing to risk it to be in front of them? Because to be in front of this person, there's a risk. You have to break later than this person. You have to risk crashing. You have to risk losing everything. To pass this person, it's not just me being in front of them. It's me risking that if I go into this corner too fast, then I will crash. Then I will lose this bike. I will have to repair this bike. It's being prepared to risk it, right? But the word is being prepared to risk it. You're not just risking stuff willy-nilly, right? You're just gonna crash and burn all the time. But you have to be prepared to risk it. That's what I learned from racing. Be bold, take it. And all that stuff combining, knowing what you want, having passion to do it, being prepared to do it, taking the opportunity that comes with it, then you have to be prepared. You have to be willing to take what's yours. You know, the world is a finite world, right? There's blue ocean, there's red ocean, there's whatever ocean. But you have to be confident in yourself that this is what I want. This is what I want. Right? Because these people on podium number 2 or number 3, I took the first place from them. It's just the nature of business. Either they're buying from you or they're buying from your customer, right? You're getting it or they're getting it. That's business. But, you know, racing is fair. There's rules to business as there are rules to racing. You can't be crashing into other people. You have to be respecting to other people. It's the same with business. And, you know, that's just how the world works. There are ways that you can get around things. You know, there are ways that I can take the corner faster than the other person. Maybe they don't know. You know, there are rules, but there are ways to be better in that set of rules. Or there are even ways to change the set of rules. Before we started racing every season, there's a committee that decides on what the rules are. Are you bold enough to make the rules apply to you more than them? You know, that's just business, that's racing. And, you know, for me, I don't know how you will succeed, but what I do know is that to succeed, you have to be prepared. You have to want it, and you have to take it. That's what I've learned from my past businesses and from racing that kind of applies. So, you know, but to get back to the basics is just doing it. If you don't do it, then you're never going to achieve it. Take the first step. And after the first step, you'll come to this step. If you work hard enough, then you'll come in, you'll take the checker flag as the first person. And the feeling that I felt, it was so just, I don't know. It's undescribable. You know, it's just so good. I worked 2 years to get to this point, and you'll feel that with whatever business you want to do, whatever passion you want to take. There are milestones that will make you feel like it's worth it. Well, along the way, it's going to be hard, but you have to set milestones to make sure that, you know, it's worth it, it's worth it, it's worth it. And the goal in the end will always be worth it to me if you have that passion. Yeah. So just sharing my experience to you guys, and hopefully it resonates, and it gives you the strength and the passion to follow your dreams, whatever that might be. It might be sports, it might be just your hobby, it might be your business. My final word is just do it, right? Do it. You'll know if it works. You'll know if it doesn't work. Try to find a way it works. Just if you try it, if you do it, I believe you will succeed. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
so that's
thank you.
just me, short and hopefully sweet. Yeah. Any questions, please?
Yeah.
Please ask.
Audience, you can ask a question if you have. We can take 2 or 3
Great.
questions.
Bank, what is the speed? What is the maximum speed when you drive, like 300 or 400 kilometers?
Yeah, so for me, I'm on the 400cc class. There's 400, 600, and 1000. I'm on the 400cc class. My max speed is 200 kilometers per hour on the straight. So, but the thing you have to know about racing is it's not about the maximum speed, but it's about how fast you can stop from the maximum speed. That's the exhilarating part. It's going fast. Everybody can go fast. All these people on the streets can go faster than me on their big. But
so what is the difference, Hank, when you are saying on the straight line you have 200 kilometers, and in a curve, if you are bending, so you have to come down from 200 to what kind of speed?
Yeah. So basically, to win, everybody in the same class is to keep things fair, right? So most people go at the same speed with the bike on the straight line. But the hard part is willing to risk it. So when you're on a straight, you come to a curve, you have to brake. And it's who's braver to brake later, who's willing to risk it more, who's willing to go deeper into the corner before braking to turn, who's more prepared to do that, right? That's the difference. You know, everybody can have the same machinery to do your business. Everybody can have everybody can sell on Facebook. Everybody has the same tools. But it's the person that is brave enough to do something different, is brave enough to risk, to be prepared. You have to be prepared. It's not just willy-nilly risking. You'll just crash all the time. But being prepared to go deeper, because I've practiced it, I've learned it, right? To brake harder, deeper, and to turn before the other person. That's the hard part. Yeah. Going fast is easy.
How do you do this? So you are with 200 speed or 180 speed and your competitor at the same time, and then you are now approaching a curve, and what are you doing? What's going on then?
What's going on is everybody has a braking marker. It's like, usually I brake here, because every lap you're going around the same course, every lap, usually people brake here. But, you know, when I practice, I watch my opponent. My opponent always brake at this point, right? You have to watch your competitor. To beat them, you have to know them, right? Because you're in the same rules. You're on the same, usually, you know, same CC bike. So everybody has a weak point. So you have to study them. Okay, there are 12 corners. You turn 12 times in a racetrack going in a circle. Usually at this point, this person brakes too soon, meaning there's much more that you can go. So I look for this opportunity, and I know that at this point I am more prepared to risk and I'm better at this person at this corner. So at this corner, I go in and I break later than him. And then there's nothing that he can do because he is just used to being here. Like in business, I'm used to doing my business like this. If someone breaks later than me, this other person is not prepared to do what I'm doing. So I have the advantage, right? I'm more prepared to do something better here. It's very hard in business. It's the same thing. In the race course, if you're not practiced to break at this point, nobody's gonna do it. Because if I do it this way, I'm gonna crash. I don't wanna risk it. That's what they're saying. But for me, I'm more prepared to break harder than you, to break later than you, to risk it more. But I know that I can do it because I'm practiced, right? So that's the hard part.
You have your bar for each curve. You know your point where you break, but suddenly you are in the race. You know, I want to break here, and my competitor is next to me. I know where the competitor breaks, and then you raise the bar and you break later. And that's the ridge walk between the red flag and crash, or the checkered flag and to win.
Yes, exactly.
So it's again about raising the bar. And many entrepreneurs, they stay with their breaking points. I always break there and they continue doing it. And you guys as young entrepreneurs, if you are prepared, you can raise the bar, break later, and you will win. So this is, I think, so stunning, interesting when you look at racing. And you know, my little motorbike here with 125 cubic. Well, I'm not able to compete, but I went to the circus in Buriram. We have a GP circus in Thailand, and wow, that's tough. So, Bank, do you want to share the video, or do you want me to share the video?
Well, I guess if everyone's on Zoom, then I can share it because it's the same quality, I guess. Yeah, you guys can see my screen?
Yes.
No, there is
a
slide.
Oh, it's a slide, right? Let me turn off the slide. Okay, can you see it now?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a video. I didn't make this recap.
No, we only see the slide still.
We can see the slides. You have to reshare the screen.
Okay, 1 second.
And run it from YouTube. It will be easier.
Okay. Yeah, you guys see it now?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a compilation video of my race. I'm here on the far left. So I started way back, as you can see. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more bikes in front of me. This is the start. And at the end, you know, I overtake. That's the term. I overtake each of these bikes one by one until at the end I was racing with the guy in front. And you'll see in competition, it's just overtaking. You're better. It's like Coke and Pepsi, right? You're always with your competition, and as you can see, so that's me on 39. This is the guy in front. So I just overtake one after the other. Fortunate that, you know, that this video is mostly of me. So, you know, now we're top 3, and I'm still on the 3rd person. I overtook the red person, and now I'm fighting with the 1st place. So here I'm in front. Another time he's in front. We're just jostling and breaking, and the competition is very fierce. We almost bump into each other a bunch of times here. We're wheel to wheel. It's very close, and it's, you know, it's really fun. Yeah, you looking back, you always have to look back at your competition, looking what's going on. at the end, I won. So, so it's really fun to race. And, you know, that's a really short video, but the preparation to it is also really fun. So, yeah, so that's the short video.
Great, wonderful, Bank. Congratulations.
Thank you,
That
thank
is
you.
amazing. I never got interested. I saw my kids seeing that and I said, hey, what do you keep on watching? But now I went into details. They're roaming again, taking rounds again and again. So we have one question. Sheikh Amr has a question from Karachi. Amr, can you ask a question?
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, giving me permission, and I will pay the thanks, sir, who joined us and giving us a very wonderful lecture and a very motivational speech. And I have a very simple question. When you got sometime disappointed from your work and did not get the result what you are expecting, so then what do you do that time and how you motivate yourself? Shukriya. Thank you.
Right, right. Yeah, many times I failed. So many times. First thing, you'll feel frustrated, right? That's what everybody feels. They'll feel frustrated, they'll feel down. But for me, I've always been the person that I just don't give up, you know? And not giving up is different than keep doing the same thing. So when I fail, you know, take some time. You always need to take some time. You can't just like, it's not always failing and then getting right back up. This just doesn't happen. Everybody's human. Everybody feels. So take some time, but you know, not weeks or months, but take some time, it's a few days, maybe an afternoon, if it's a small failure, just take some time to reflect. And when you reflect, look at the positives, right? Look at, you know, I've come this far. I've reached this and this and this goal, you know. What's this failure? Why would I make this failure stop me? I've come so far. And at the end, you know, you'll think about it. Maybe I'll try something different. Maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll do that. You know, things will come to you. But, you know, take some time off, clear your head, let the emotions flow through, let the frustration flow through, let the sadness flow through, and then you'll start to, and then at some point start to, you know, reflect what you've done, and then you'll think about, okay, so, you know, I've come this far, right? What can I do to keep going? Yeah, and I think that will help, but, you know, take some time. Nobody is Superman, right? Even Superman falls. He takes time. He goes back to his spaceship. He reflects, right? Everybody does it. So, you know, give yourself time, and then reflect on what you've done, and then think about how you can do it better.
Thank you very much, sir, for your giving very good and effective suggestion. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
So thank you very much, Bank. It's I said to you,
sir, may I with the very last question?
Okay.
Yeah.
But we need to ask Bank whether he is willing to take more questions, because I said to Bank about 10 minutes, 15 minutes from 1:30 to 1:45, and we are now soon to 30 minutes. So
yeah, I can
you
take
know,
one more.
I'm German born. I have no sense of humor. I'm now Thai. I have no sense of timing anymore. So Bank, if you are willing to take some more questions.
Yeah, I can take one or two more. No problem.
Okay.
Okay, thanks a lot. Yeah, Mr. Bank, I want to ask, what were your feelings in terms of anxiety and stress when you were on the track for the very first time? What were your feelings at that time?
Yeah. Well, I still have the same feeling. It's but before you start, right? Before you start racing, you're lined up to race, basically. Let me show you. So yeah, but before you start racing, and anyways, so before you start racing, you line up on a grid. Everybody lines up, and when we're ready to go, there's so much anxiety there because you're not in motion. You're not doing, you're waiting. Waiting is the hardest part. Sometimes you have to wait. You'll feel the anxiety. You'll feel like, what should I do? What should I do? Like before a pitch, before a race, you know, that time where you wait until the action happens. For me, it's still hard, but you know, reflect and breathe, yeah, and reflect. Preparation makes champions. If you think you're prepared, then you will be confident that you can do it, right? So be prepared. If you are prepared, then nothing's gonna stop you. And you know, be prepared. Know that it's what you want. Know that this is what you want, and just take it. For me, anxiety is gonna be there. You can't stop it. It's feelings, you know. But you know, if you think you're not prepared, be more prepared. Do something more. And then the feeling that you've done all you can, and you're at this point, and just go with it. I think that will help you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Bang. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I take from this and want to say to the students, take what's yours, give yourself time, and it is about the quality of the next overtake, step by step. And then if you're overtaking one by one, it is to raise the bar, and you have to break later. It's a ridge walk between the red and the checkered flag.
Yeah.
Bang, thank you so much. It is an honor and a pleasure to have you here. It is an honor because you're not only a racer, you're not only an entrepreneur, you are also dedicated to community. You had the slide deck JCI, it's Junior Chamber International, and you are very active. So you are a role model for an entrepreneur, because entrepreneurship is creating an opportunity, acting on opportunities to create economic and social value. And you are socially engaged. You give a lot of time to the community. So thank you very much to give time here for these group of students at the International Entrepreneurship Summer School of Pakistan by IBA, by the Institute of Business Administration, the oldest business school outside of the US, and Dr. Shahid, who is an absolutely stunning entrepreneur and role model for, I think, each and every one of us. And it is a wonderful, great team effort here by the International Summer Program to make this course possible. So, Bank, thank you very much.
Yes, thanks a lot, and maybe we can sometime invite Bank to Karachi. We can invite him and ask him to fly over. We can arrange a ticket, and maybe we can do a racing in Karachi.
Yeah, I'm being excited. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ben.
Okay. Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you. Sorry, go.
Thank you.
Over to Asghar and Zarish. They will take over. There will be 5-6 minutes exercise before we finish today.
Just a second.
Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much. Well, that's fine. That's fine. Yes.
I've got a question, Dr. Shahid. It's from 1 to 3, or it's?
Hands has 1 hour left, so.
Yeah. So sorry, guys, you have to bear with me for another hour, or you have to ask the host turn his video off and turn his mic off. Right? So what was the idea, Dr. Shahid, to have a little break, or do we carry on?
You may carry on, sir.
So you want me to carry on? So then let's have another little exercise, because you know already my toolbox. Don't forget the bar, and always balance, right, between the red flag and the checkered flag. But I have more tools. tools for you. Let's have a look into this. Oh, there are many of them. Let's find out what the tools are about. Let's find out. So let me start sharing a screen if I find it. Just a second. So this is the folding ruler exercise. After the exercise, the jump exercise, I would like to do a folding ruler exercise with you. So this is the transition from racing to climbing. So what is this? I need you to talk. What is this?
A ruler.
That's a scale, a ruler.
A ruler.
A
It's a
measuring
ruler, right?
ruler.
Yeah. And does the ruler have any units of measurement? It has not.
No, it doesn't.
So this is,
No.
or it has. So how many units do we have on this ruler?
We can't tell.
Sir,
Since there's no measuring unit, we can't really say how much it is exactly.
Well, I was asking how many units are on this. And if we don't get the numbers, we are biased and we are saying we don't have the numbers. We have no measurement. But how many units can you count on this?
3, I think.
How many?
23.
You have 3 large units, and in between, how many little units do you have in total?
7.
So 20.
That's basically 21.
21.
The small unit.
24.
24. So it's the 24-inch gauge. So what does it stand for, the 24-inch gauge? What does this tool of my toolbox stands for? The 24-inch gauge. I always have this with me, and this is the 24-inch gauge for the 24 hours of the day. These are the 24 hours of your day, partly to work, partly to relax, and partly to do good to community and others. So now, please pick a piece of paper or take your mobile or whatever you have at hand and draw a 24-inch gauge. The best is you do it on a paper, if possible. If you still have these old-fashioned stuff like papers and pens, I don't know. We are used to IT. Take a paper and then please, of an average day, what are you doing during your average 24 hours entrepreneurial day, your day? You are the entrepreneur and you create your 24 hours. So what is your 24-inch gauge for the day? So please think about it. How much time do you spend for what kind of activity usually? You sleep, you eat, you take actions. So what is your 24-inch gauge of the day? If you have done it, please hold it into the camera. It's not easy, right? And the beauty of this is each and every one of you, all of you, we all have 24 hours a day. It's the same for each and every one of us. None get more than 24 hours a day. So what's your average day? And within the average day, how much in this average day is your part for racing? How much time do you spend on the average day on racing, on thinking, in this time, I take what is mine? Bank said, take what is yours. So how many time of a 24-inch gauge do you have for an action where you take what is yours? Where you think, whom do I have to overtake today? Maybe myself, right? My distress, maybe my competitor. So what is your 24-inch gauge? And hold it into the camera. If you're willing to share, of course, we accept your privacy. Can anyone hold it, or is it too difficult? I can't see anyone.
So can you share an example?
How much, yes, please. Ramja, how much time do you sleep on average per day?
I try to sleep an average of like 8 hours.
So from 24 units, 8 units are for sleep.
Yeah.
So how much time do you use to eat?
Total of maybe like 1 hour for all the, pieces of meals that we have throughout the day.
So you have 1 unit to eat. How much time do you spend to share what you're doing to the community? 0 or a little bit? How much time do you? How much?
Maybe we could say like 30 minutes or something on average.
So let's say half an hour, so on half of 1 unit, or let's say 1 unit, you spend on taking care of others, contribute to society. How much time do you spend to relax, to develop your coping strategies with all the things which are on your shoulders? You have a big backpack. Each and everyone has a backpack, right?
Right.
So how much do you have a day?
We could say like around like 3 hours for maybe, academic development, and for like a holistic development, we could say like 3 hours as well, because, when you have pet animals or like you have family members to take care of, then so like 3 to 2 hours for them as well, and 3 hours for like studies, trying to at least, or at least that's what I would like to believe.
And you put all this in the 3 hours in the 3 units, yet it exists of family issues, it exists of family and friends issues, it exists of, as you said, academic issues, and it exists of private stuff. And what happens is, if the academic part, your professional part takes over, from which unit do you take, which unit do you leave out from these 3 hours? Or do you take something from another unit?
Probably like take some from my sleep, and some from a private time you devote it for your academics or professional experiences.
That's what we do, right? We sleep an hour less, 7 hours, but we know we need 8 hours to perform. Or from these 3 hours where there was at least maybe 1 unit reserved to keep my eye peeled on myself, I take this off and give this to others. And what happens is you are exhausted.
Yeah.
So obviously I would like you to, I want to encourage you with this 24-inch gauge that you think about this, write this down. What is your personal want? What is your personal need? And if you don't care about yourself, you cannot care about others. If you don't care about your beliefs, you cannot care about others. If you don't care about your values, you cannot care about to engage and empower others. So the 24-inch gauge in my toolbox is a very personal tool. And these 3 big units on it, this just indicates we need time partly to sleep and rest, and we need time partly to eat and enjoy, and we need time partly to do things for your professional life and for others. So now, what is that? I have another. I never have another, as you can see in my toolbox, right? I have another. What's that?
Measuring tape.
Yeah, so it's a tape line, right? I don't know what kind of tape line you have in your toolbox. Do you have one? You should have one. Look at this. This is a bigger one. Yeah, here I can measure maybe, let's see, I can measure 2 meters. Not bad for the beginning. With this toolbox, wow, that was 5 meters. So this is a tape line. I can measure 5 meters. I even in the picture have a, oh, wow, that's something else. More difficult to deal with, obviously. What is this? What is this?
Scale. That's again scale. Then scale.
It's a folding ruler, and I have different ones. I have this one. I have one folding ruler with my name on. Can you read this? Yeah,
Oh,
I have one folding ruler. It's a bit, it looks ugly, right? It's used, yeah. As I said, I'm 3 years older than you, so I use it for some time. I have my name on it because this is important. This is an important tool. Why? Why is this such an important tool? This is about climbing. Before we go into extreme mountain climbing, now you climb up this folding ruler. So what happens? You climb up. It's very stable, right? Quite good. Now I need to stand up, and so now I want to climb this folding ruler. I want to climb it up, and I do. I climb this folding ruler up more and more and higher and higher. I'm now at 1 meter, 1 meter 10, 1 meter, and what happens is exactly this. You need to know the higher you climb, you need more survival strategies. It's just between the red flag and the checkered flag. Well, what is the solution? What is your solution to it? If you see this tool and you know now, wow, climbing up there, it's, wow, it's really, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? You fold it back together and you're saying, no, that's not for me. You lower the bar. Or you develop strategies. From Bank we learned the preparation. And he said, you have to do it. And that is what Dr. Shahid is saying with effectuation. You have to think, you have to act, and you have to build on experience, right? You have to build on it. That's why I always need this folding ruler in my toolbox. And as you can see, one has my name on it. I have a small one. I have a large one because it depends. So I have a lot of folding rulers to know how high I want to go up. And I definitely don't go up higher than the affordable loss. I did it once. So I recommend not to do it. So moving over to climbing, this is climbing the folding ruler. And we need to understand, we need strategies, and we will come back to the strategies. So it's about the balance, between we build and we survive. And you need a lot in your survival to build high up. So you need survival strategies. So I stopped sharing. I want to show you this little climbing folder ruler video. This I can already close. And let me see. I have so many stuff open for you that, oh, you're good in time. Just the time check. Okay. This works. This guides over to climbing. I did mountain climbing, extreme mountain climbing. I did it with partners, so always with the ropes and secured. And well, then I was the first one going first. So what happens is your partner is standing here, here is your rope, and then you're going up. And then you secure yourself again, because you always can only fall back to the last secured position and the same level again, plus the extension of the rope. So when you climb up, you go up, and then you want to secure. You secure in the rocks, because then from there you cannot fall anymore this way. You can fall only to the part. So every 5 meters you should secure. To share personal experience, I was climbing. I was going first. Anke, my partner, was below, secured. And I went up, and I could have had, and I said, okay, after 4 or 5 meters, I set the next secured position. But I was just 2.5, 3 meters up. I said, well, I can do this, but it was overhanging. And I had my feet only on very tiny little rocks, tiny little. And my hand was at a very, very tiny, like thin like a mobile, that tiny. So I had 3 points. And then it was overhanging. So I was looking for the grip, and I found the grip overhanging. And then I realized I tried to take it because I wanted to take this off. And then what happened was this rock was not strong enough. Bang! So I was at my positions and I knew I needed new grip. I did not secure myself before this overhanging. And what happened was I was looking up there and I couldn't find any. It was overhanging, there was none. Couldn't find it. And I felt that my hand was going and opening up. It was opening up, and I knew I need to find the next grip, otherwise I will fall. You need coping strategies in this situation and the mindset to carry on, to find the next grip. In a situation where your hand is opening up, it's the quality of the next grip, and I need the next grip. I couldn't find it. The hand was opening up. I went down these 2.5, 3 meters plus again 2.5, 3 meters plus 10% extension of the rope. I was prepared. I had a helmet and I survived, and without injuries, because I was secured by my partner. My wife sometimes says, oh, I think there is something left, but this is a different story. And so this is something what I learned from climbing. The key is you have to have a strategy. You have to know where you want to go up, but you need to prepare, you need to explore the route. And I want to show you a video, and we'll stop from time to time. You don't watch it the whole time, of the most famous climber. This is not climbing with ropes. This is climbing without. It's free climbing. So let me first share with you. Oh, sorry, there is something playing. Okay, got it. So where is my slide? Ah, here. So I want to share, I went as a young climber to the US, and I went to Yosemite Valley near San Francisco. Here we go. And there are lessons to be learned from climbing. This is Yosemite Valley, granite. This is an area for rock climbers. And this is Half Dome. It's 1,000, more than 3,000. Not good to go up here.
Very steep.
The vertical part, but I wanted to go up to this. So I just went from the back. That was more walking up here. You can see this, right? So from the back, I couldn't do this vertical. It was just not my qualification. That would have been not possible. My tool clearly told me you can't go up there. It's impossible, and not even as a free climber. So now I want to introduce to you a climber who did. This is, and he will teach us. He will teach us lessons for entrepreneurs? Oh.
About making a film about him. We were talking about a character study, a general.
What if he falls? This is the terrifying reality behind a free solo on El Capitan in Yosemite Valley. You can hear it, right?
Yes, we can hear.
Alex Honnold is the foremost free soloist in the world. He has free soloed routes that no one else can. To free solo means to climb without ropes or safety equipment. One false move, one slip, and it's over.
The risk in free soloing is always to fall off and fall to your death. I mean, that's pretty straightforward.
My directing partner and husband, Jimmy Chin, is a professional climber, and we were interested in making a feature-length documentary about his friend Alex.
When Chai and I first talked about making a film about him, we were talking about a character study, a general portrait of Alex, why he was extraordinary.
But we realized Alex was dreaming of doing something much bigger, much more dangerous.
The only thing that would justify making a movie with me is doing something that I'm like truly proud of. To me, the big dream has always been free soloing El Cap. That is the culmination of anything I can imagine.
El Cap is monumental.
That is the combination of everything that I can imagine.
3,000 feet of sheer granite. Free soloing it would be one of the greatest accomplishments in the history of climbing.
To do a solo on El Capitan, that's an achievement in history.
But is it ethical to film someone as he risks his life?
When I found out Alex was thinking about free soloing El Cap, Chai and I needed to step back and take some time to really think if this was something we wanted to take on.
Every journalist and documentary filmmaker goes into situations without knowing what happens next. This is the truth of nonfiction. You can be mindful not to put the needs of a film before those of your subject, but how much precaution is enough? We had this ethical question. Is he more likely to fall when we were there because we can be a distraction than if he is by himself?
I'm aware that a camera changes the dynamic in some small way. And when the margins of success and failure are very, very thin, you just don't know what it's going to be that might.
It was very technical, filming the climbing. It was dangerous, it was extreme. And at the same time, we had to capture Alex's most intimate moments and try to get to know this person who was very, very uncomfortable with intimacy as he's preparing for the most difficult thing he's ever done in his life. So you're kind of tinkering in his head, and is that even a good idea? When the guys were still coming down from the wall, Claire Popkin and I would be on the ground and start this, second wave of the Alex filming, where he had to explore ideas that were very, very personal.
The most challenging thing about all the verite filmmaking was that a lot of it we spend 6 or 8 hours on the wall doing very physically toiling work, and then I get down and then there's another camera with a different crew that's all fresh and ready to hang out for the whole evening, and I'm like, I'm so pooped, I just want to lay down. But those are kind of the key moments in which to film, and I get that, but it's still hard sometimes. More pressing questions of any kind?
We followed him for 2 years as he practiced and weighed whether to attempt the solo climb.
It's early June 2017. I can tell that Alex is kind of peaking in terms of his training and everything he's doing. We had everybody dialing in our plans. We knew exactly where everybody needed to be, what their shots were, but I refuse, as a personal line that I'm not willing to cross, to ask Alex when he thinks he's going to do it. The directive was to stay out of his sight unless you were filming with him. Our goal was to reduce any sort of external pressure and really focus on giving him the purest experience that he could have.
this work.
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
So this is secured, secured by ropes, and they did this for 2 years until they
On
said
June
we are ready
3rd,
now to do it.
2017, he decided he was ready to do it.
And only the entrepreneur was
He's
able to
definitely
decide,
not
not an
going back
advisor. So preparing for 2 years with ropes secured again and again. And everybody wanted to do this film, yet it was his decision when he is ready to do it. Keep this lesson in mind. You do what you want to do, but you decide when you're ready to do it. Don't trust on others. It's you as an entrepreneur.
He's coming up for sure. He's only going one way.
I'm running through all the different scenarios. You know, if you fell, like what it would sound like, what I would say to people after it, what, I don't know, like what the footage would be like, you know, and I'm just like, in my mind, I almost couldn't control it.
For almost 4 hours, we were on the edge of our seats, watching Alex make his way up El Cap, achieving something no human had ever done before.
Oh God! Oh my God! I'm so glad this is over.
Jimmy, how do you feel?
Like a gigantic weight up on my shoulders, dude.
There's a lot of stress for everybody.
On June 3rd, 2017, Alex became the first person to free solo El Capitan Yosemite Valley in 3 hours and 56 minutes. After 2 years of preparation, until he said he is ready to do so. What are the lessons learned from Alex? There are plenty of lessons. We could have a whole session about it. The key is there was a clear strategy how to get up there, the route. There was preparation to know each and every part of it, secured. As I said, that you only can fall into the rope. And then it was the time to do this solo. He said, I'm ready to do what no one achieved in history. And it was an absolutely crazy situation for the camera team because it was a fight on life and death. And what do you do when you film that he falls? But what is the key lesson I learned from climbing? And what is the key lesson watching Alex? It is the quality of the next grip. Many entrepreneurs are thinking about the next grip and the next grip and the next grip and the next grip. Stop it. It is the quality of the next grip. As we learn from racing, it is to overtaking one by one, the quality of the next overtake. In extreme climbing, it is the quality of the next grip. So you have to ask yourself, what is my next smart step? Think, act, build on experience. What is the quality of your next smart grip? That's climbing. And I loved it. So therefore I have to stop, otherwise I start talking about climbing. By the way, you can interrupt me anytime, right?
Hans, have you been climbing yourself as well? So
Yeah,
you're
I
a
did.
climber.
Yeah,
Oh,
I did.
wow.
And I experienced that I made mistakes not being prepared. I had once the wrong partner and I got an extreme situation. And And yeah,
How high have you climbed in your career? How high, like,
no, it's
height,
not
like 1,000 feet? Or?
No, it's not the question of the height. It was, for example, one was 400 meters high, but it was when you stepped in, the rocks were nearly 1,000 meters deep, so you were in the vertical. So it's a question of the grade. We have different grades in the mountain. The problem is a mountain looks, when you look at the plan and you see, oh, this is great, but if you are, it's for example an edge, but if you're in the edge in the mountain, it's 50 meters, and maybe it's the grade 4 in where you plan to go, and if you go 1 meter to the left or to the right, you are in grade 5 or 6, you are not used to do it. So when you're climbing in a climbing garden like 40, 50 meters, secured from top, you can maybe climb 5 or 6, but this doesn't mean that you can do it in the Alps. So there are a lot of lessons from climbing. Yeah, I did with pleasure, yeah. And I did it by incident and accident. I wanted to walk. The story behind is I went with my mother when I was very young, with my mother into the Alps, and we were walking up the mountains. And I said, I don't want to walk up the mountains, I want to climb up the mountains. So I want to walk extreme. So she said, then you have to go to an association. So I went to this association, and luckily there were 2 persons, Eckhard and Andreas, who were extreme climbers. So they brought me in. I never achieved a high ranked quality. Therefore, I thought it's better to confront you with someone who did something outstanding. So I bow my head, I take my head off these climbers. And when I was on the campground in Yosemite Valley, and I was watching all these free climbers, it was really stunning. But I never did free climbing. That was just not, it was just on my tool. You remember, it was just too high up, right? It was not my pair of shoes. So let me walk you from racing to climbing. Obviously, there are similar lessons. Let me walk you through another part. Not the jump, sorry. No, not the jump, sorry. Come on. I have so many PowerPoints open. Is it here? Yeah, no, also not. Just a second, bear with me. Hey, where is it? Yeah, that's it. So here it comes. Now I can share it. So now we want to fly. And what is doing business? Doing business is prepared. So you're on the runway, and then the problem is if you are on the runway and you have you ask that you're ready for taxi, and then you go to the apron with your airplane, and then you're standing on the apron, you get allowance to go to the runway, and then you stand on the runway, and then you say Delta India Lima India Alpha ready for takeoff, and then the tower will give you allowance to take off. And the key lesson in flying is after you take off, you have to fly and you have to land, and landing is the most difficult part. So now a situation. You're flying in your airplane, not a commercial. You're flying in your small airplane. The weather is bad. The visibility gets worse. And you as the pilot, you lose your way in this fog. Misty fog, can you imagine? In addition, the plane runs into a very strong sinking zone within the mountains. And in the middle of the radio communication with the ground control, your communication fails. What would happen if this scenario comes up? What would happen between to take off and fly, to build, and to survive? As a wise man said, if companies were airplanes, they would be falling from the sky. If entrepreneurs were airplanes, they would be falling from the sky. And there is an old saying with pilots, and this keep in mind for your company. Every landing you can walk away from is a good landing. Every landing you can use the aircraft the next day is an outstanding landing. 80% of all companies fail within the first 3.5 years. If you don't extend your affordable loss, well, you can't use your airplane again, but you walked away. Every landing you can walk away from is a good landing. Every landing you can walk away from and you can use the aircraft the next day is an excellent landing. So now let's get a bit of feeling, right? So can you please relax in your chair and now answer, please. You are now the pilot in the plane, you know, bird at hand, affordable loss, and so on, and the pilot in the plane. You are the pilot in the plane. You're sitting now in the plane. Okay, here's the throttle, right? Can you please test the throttle? Yeah, it's okay. I don't see anyone testing. Obviously, you are not prepared to fly. You need to prepare. We learned this from racing and and climbing. Okay. So what do you do now? You're sitting in your airplane. What are you doing? Give me a recommendation. Give me a recommendation. You want to fly and you're sitting in your airplane and you want to fly. What's your recommendation?
Maybe to start it to take off.
So you want to start and take off, right? This is what we think, right? Now let's think what commercial pilots and what a pilot should do. The pilot should not sit in the airplane before the pilot walked around the airplane and checked it, okay? So now please get out. You did not the smart step, you did a next step before the first step. So now please stand up and check your airplane, right? Can you please check your airplane? Do you have enough fuel? Check it. You need to stand up. You can't sit and make success. You need to check your airplane, right? So you walk around the airplane, you look at the wheels and you look at whether the tires are correctly on the wheels. You check your plane. And then you get into the airplane, you check the plane from the outside and you are now sitting there. That was the first smart step. You're becoming good pilots, obviously. What next? What's your next? So you checked you were overtaking the first problem. So now what's the next smart step?
Reassure everyone on board.
Okay, the cat, the dog, is everyone there? Okay, great, yes. And then what do?
You check if all the manuals are working.
You're checking again. How do you check this? It's a great answer. Well, how do you check this?
You press the buttons and...
Okay, so this is not what a pilot is doing. The pilot is taking his checklist. Okay, can you take your checklist? The pilot is taking the checklist. Have you a checklist at hand? Feel the checklist. You're a plane. You checked your airplane already. You checked. You have your checklist. And now you do what Aina was telling us. You look at the checklist. Oil pump 1. Oil pump 1. Oil pump 2, oil pump 2. You get this? You're not saying, I know this. Of course you know it. You don't need the checklist. You just do it. Well, good luck. So what we need to fly is a professional checklist, what we are going to do. This checklist is created on thoughts, action, you build on experience, and you put this into the checklist. And you act checkpoint by checkpoint. The quality of the next grip. You read oil pump 1, oil pump 1, oil pump 2, oil pump 2. If entrepreneurs were airplanes, they are falling from the sky. You can't walk outside. So obviously there is a reason why 80% of all young entrepreneurs are dying. And I don't want you to be among these statistics. And we learn from racing, we learn from climbing, and we learn from flying the checklist. So we need obviously not only building strategies, we need also to have a tool. Let's look in my toolbox. I have a tool for you. I thought anyone want to remind me. Nobody's remind. You don't want to know what this is, right? You know cheese, right? But why is my cheese in the toolbox? Any idea?
To give you energy.
To give me energy. Wow. So again? Again? I couldn't hear.
Talha, can you say it again, please?
To give you energy for survival. So let's look into my cheese. This is a Swiss cheese. Can you see the holes in the Swiss cheese?
Yes.
Another slice of cheese. Let's put them together. Can you see still holes?
Yes.
Some are covered. Some, I want to eat it later, so I need a clean piece. Some are covered, some are not.
Yes.
We take another slice of cheese. We have our checklist, and in our checklist stands, take another slice of cheese. So I take another slice of cheese. And where there was a hole before, this slice of cheese covers the hole. And we have another slice of cheese. We have another slice of cheese. We add it to this cheese. And we have another one, the last one. Can you see any hole in the cheese?
No.
Yeah, so we see the hole, but they are
Again?
covered.
I need energy. Please. Please. Your question. When I take a slice away,
wow, lekker.
It's getting, so this is called the Swiss cheese model, and this is not fun. This is the security which is used by Lufthansa and the best commercial airlines in the world. So what is it about? So this is my last video of today for you.
Failures will have occurred. The initial.
Can you hear it?
A vitally important
Yes, sir, we can hear it.
Yes, sir.
can have serious results is the appreciation that when things go wrong, 3 failures will have occurred. The initiating event, usually a single error, sometimes on the hangar floor, perhaps during planning, or right back at the design stage. Error can be built in before the job begins. Next is a failure to detect that error, and the absence of an effective control to recover from the consequences. So human error is not simply a case of the individual getting it wrong, it is a system failure. Most of the time, the system works well, but such apparent success may not be all that it seems. A good safety record is reassuring, but to rely on the absence of accidents as an indication of safety can be dangerous. A cheese shop may seem to be an odd place to find out what happens when things go wrong. But this cheese has a lesson for us.
Would you slice it up for me, please? Maybe 4 or 5 slices long ways?
That's no problem. Thanks very much.
All complex systems have many barriers, safeguards and defenses to separate hazards from victims, from assets and from the environment. In an ideal world, each defense would look like this. It would be solid and intact. But in reality, each defense is like this. It has holes in. And the same is true for all the other defenses. All the defenses have holes in them.
The defenses which an organization managing any kind of hazard must have include good documentation, clear communication, regular training, well thought out operating procedures, effective supervision, and thorough inspection. All are vital to cost-effective operations and the prevention of accidents and unwanted incidents. Day and night, the work we do, whether we realize it or not, is under attack by circumstances and our own inherent tendency to get things wrong. Usually, individual defenses hold, and any breaches are frequently neutralized by the skill, experience, and goodwill of people in the front line. But just occasionally, they are not. Even then, the error is usually neutralized by other layers of defense elsewhere in the system. But sometimes the worst does happen. The one thing that all incidents have in common is a moment when flaws in the system line up for just long enough to allow people and harm to come into close proximity. The absence of accidents may be the result of effective error management. On the other hand, it may simply demonstrate that undetected flaws have not lined up to allow disaster to strike yet. Take just one example, a dropped or dragged engine caused by the fracture of a fuse pin because brace fastenings were not secured. Similar incidents have occurred at least 5 times in different places around the world, among airlines operating from bases with different ethnic and cultural backgrounds. Progressively, defenses were breached. In one case at least, the pattern looked like this. Procedures were not complied with. Communications failed. Work cards were not up to the job. Training was inadequate. Visible warnings were not present. Inspection did not pick up the error. What events like this demonstrate is that bad outcomes, just like good outcomes, are a team effort by everyone involved. It comes down to this. Defenses are essential, but they are not enough. A vitally important part of
So this is the Swiss cheese model to give you an idea how airlines, planes, pilots, how the pilot, the team, and the company are organizing levels for survival. And I will finish now with my, of course, I will with Q&A, but I will finish now with a quick recap. With a quick recap of the lessons. What's going on? I have cheese at my hand. with a quick recap of what I wanted to introduce to you today. Chat? No, not chat, sorry. Share. Chat and share is something different, right? How to survive. What are the lessons learned from racing, from climbing, from flying? Most entrepreneurs bail in the first year. To be honest, it is hard. I can tell you this from 25 years being entrepreneur. Why? It's not glamour and glitz. It's, you don't rock to a stardom in a few short months. You don't drive a McLaren. You are not getting Zuckerberg rich in a year. You are not going to the Hollywood celebrities and take baths in $100 bills. In fact, you are lucky if you survive at all. Thankfully, there are some secrets for survival. My toolbox. There are secrets for survival. Entrepreneurs survive by pursuing more than fast cars and lots of cash. Entrepreneurs survive by the following rules. Keep your eye on the goal. If you don't know your goal, you don't have a goal, or you can't articulate your goal, stop. You may change your goal, but you need a goal. You may adjust, pivot, but you need a goal. You are going to give up if you don't have a goal. And what is a good goal? Something that you believe in. A cause bigger than yourself. Something that benefits human mankind. Something that requires you to keep hustling every day. Something that is truly attainable. Something that you can quantify or measure. Write down your goal. Think of the 24-inch gauge. Look at it every day. Read it out loud. This is what will keep you going. Believe in what you are doing. You've probably heard of guys like Elon Musk who said that they would rather die than not realize their dream. Or maybe you have listened to impassionate entrepreneurs speak of working all night, sleeping in their office, and eating only fast food because they were so driven to work on their business. Think of Roxanne. Those aren't healthy habits, but they are certainly display the kind of commitment that an entrepreneur needs to have. Where does this commitment come from? It's more than just an insane work ethic. It comes from believing in something with an unshakable faith. You're sold on your idea. You know it's the right thing to do, and you're going to do it. You take what is yours, said Bank. If you don't believe in what you are doing, you are going to quit. Get support. Most humans need little love and support along the way. Entrepreneurs are not different. Find a supportive community. Here in IESS, build your network. Get to know each and everyone in this. Become part of this community, this international community. Find this community which encourages you, feeds you, and tells you that it's going to work out. Learn to love risk. Entrepreneurs are not risk takers, they are change takers. Risk comes out of change, and you need to deal with this. Risk is not going away. You're going to eat risk for breakfast every day. The true risk isn't deciding to start a business. The true risk is not to be on the ground and go to the apron with your airplane. The true risk is to take off. And anyone can do that. The true risk is taking more and bigger risks every day that you're actually in business, but you don't exceed your affordable loss and you use your bird at hand. It's not risky to embark upon a dream. It is risky to play with millions of dollars from investors, place people's jobs and livelihood off the line, and face legal and financial implications. Be content with being uncomfortable. Discomfort is your new status quo. Whether it's health concerns, mental stress, or a raw or jittery driveness, you're not going to be comfortable very often. There are no shortcuts or hacks for overcoming this discomfort. It is omnipresent and it's inescapable. You can, however, become more comfortable with it by knowing that's a good sign. The discomfort proves that you are pressing beyond your comfort zone, making things happen and personally growing. Live lean. Entrepreneurs have to live lean before they live large. Entrepreneurs have to live lean before they live large. Many aspiring entrepreneurs have literally been homeless or working minimum wages jobs before they experience success. Don't let the anticipation of future rewards fool you into thinking that you can live like a king right now. You can't, so don't do it. Schedule breaks on your 24-inch gauge and don't take them away. Schedule breaks. Even the most iron-willed entrepreneur need to take breaks. Give yourself some space every now and then. Keep the commitment to your breaks, or you will experience a burnout. Eat, sleep, exercise. If you're an entrepreneur, you don't have time to do anything except grin. You need to make time to eat right, get sufficient sleep, and take actions, exercise some. These three things are what give you the ability to keep at it. The moment you drop one of these healthy habits is the moment your productivity nosedives and you don't work as effectively. Staying fit is the key to staying successful. It may seem like a waste of time to sleep 7 hours a night, or what you said, 8 hours, eat fresh food or take a 2-mile jog. But these time wasters are actually time savers. They give you the stamina, endurance, the mental clarity and power that you need to both survive and succeed. No one ever said that entrepreneurship is easy. No one promised success. No one entered entrepreneurship because it was going to be a cakewalk. It is going to be any different for you? Success is attainable. Know what you're up against and prepare for survival. You've got this. Racing, climbing, flying. Not for everybody. Nobody talks about entrepreneurship as a survival, but that's exactly what it is. and what nurtures creative thinking. Thank you very much, Dr. Shahid. Thank you very much to the awesome IESS team. Thank you to IBA and Karachi University. And thank you each and everyone for you to be with me here for the last 2 hours. It was a pleasure to meet you online, and hopefully we see us again offline in Pakistan or somewhere else, or in Bangkok. Thank you very
Thanks
much.
a lot, my dear.
Up to your
By
questions.
hands. Can everybody say thank you, Danke in German, D-A-N-K-E, Danke.
Thank you, Danke.
Thanks, wishing you the best.
And
I really
Thanks, Hans.
Does Harish have
and in
some
your own
announcements?
language, shukriya.
Thank you, sir.
Askar sahab, ek minute aa jaye, ek minute. Azmi sahab,
So I know.
So my dear,
I put
so I
back
really
my.
appreciate Hans, because you see, Hans, I wished, I don't know, you somehow, whatever I wish it happens. My wish was that we should have a toolkit for entrepreneurship. This was my dream, and somehow you brought it. And I think we should make a list of these toolkit items, and we would recommend people to have it whenever they travel, in their house, whenever they. So I really love this idea, and this is really coming from Germany once again. And this is preparation, traveling, adventure, tourism, starting a new business, moving in the market. You should have 2-3 toolkits. Small one, medium one, big one, maybe. So I really appreciate your idea. And I was just talking to my Marine that, you see, I really love your style, cool, calm. You talk slowly and you make people reflect. A lot of exercises, experiential exercises, and hats off. I really loved. You see, I'm so busy, I couldn't, can you imagine, you made me hook for 2 hours actually. And I'm not that kind of person. Abdullah knows me. After every 5 minutes, something happens to me. So I keep on, but I was hooked for most of the time. And I really appreciate, I love you, and thanks you for helping our young people learn and grow. I think it will help them in their lifetime. These are life skills. These are life skills. And my friend from Bangkok, racing, flying and climbing, I was not thinking, I couldn't imagine what it would have come. It was a surprise for me. And you know, we have a kids entrepreneurship program going on, class 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I just missed you, sir. You should have been there. These things are so relevant. So my team is requesting me that if you can be the chief guest on the graduation day of the Kids Entrepreneurship Program, it's like somewhere 7:30 p.m. in Pakistan, 9:30 p.m. You can be the chief guest and talk to them. These are kids in class 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from all over the world, from Chicago, from Pakistan, UAE. And if you can just please check your calendar. We will love to have you as a chief guest. And we can know some things from the wise man. You know the quotation of the wise man? So I think it is, Hans is the wise man behind that.
I don't know. It's an unknown source. The quotes from the wise man is an unknown source. No, thank you very much. I'm open for questions if there is time for questions. Otherwise, I type in the chat. This is a link I'm always asking students to go after each session and type in the 3 key takeaways. So you will find their find their course names. But it would be great if you can also go there and you can type in your key takeaways from today. This will, and more importantly, please tell me what went wrong. I use this author list, so I download the Excel sheet, I delete the names list, and only look into the answers without any names. So I would appreciate if you guys can take minutes to give me the 3 key takeaways of today.
Great.
And also your comments.